Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I got in a sling bag to take a look at. This one's coming from CVLIFE, and this is their conceal carry model. This bag is small, lightweight, allows you to carry 2 pistols if you want, and is very affordable at less than $30. So stick around if you want to learn about it. We'll go over all the features and details of the bag. We'll kind of load it out. I'll try to show you guys how to use it and then give some thoughts on it. So here is this little sling bag. I'll give you the exact dimensions here later, but as you can see, it's not real big at all. But the first thing that I really notice about this is that it does not scream tactical in any way. It doesn't have a bunch of molly around it or camouflage or anything. It literally just looks like a small backpack. It's going to have just a single shoulder or crossbody strap on it here. As you can see, it's a black and gray. They also do make this in a mostly gray with just a little bit of black on it. This might be a reflective stripe right there. I'll have to look at that later with a flashlight or something. The majority of this bag is made out of like reinforced polyester. Just kind of looking at some of the stitching here, everything looks like it's really well done. It does have SBS zippers on it. All of the zippers do have a paracord type material for kind of quick and easy access. The back of the bag and the shoulder strap have some mesh to allow for like it to breathe so you don't sweat so bad. You got some D-rings here so you can switch which side you want this to go on. And that is a little swivel right there. And as far as dimensions, we're at about 10.5 inches in height. It's about 7.5 inches in width. And then when you open it all the way up and expand this, you're at just over 2.5 inches. The weight of the bag, kind of here by itself, we're at about 15 ounces, so just under a pound. I mentioned earlier that this is made out of some type of reinforced polyester. It is water resistant, but not completely waterproof. This bag is going to have 3 storage compartments. Let's take a look at this front one here. Let's see what all is in here. So it looks like we're going to have a spot for your keys. This does go down basically all the way to the bottom. My finger is right there right now. So, and it's a fairly big space. I mean, I can fit my whole hand in there. This key holder here is made out of metal. It also swivels. The stitching seems to be pretty well done on that as well. And besides your keys, you could probably also use this space maybe for a phone. I'd probably tell you to have a case on if you're going to have your keys in there with it, or maybe money or a wallet, anything like that could fit into that spot there pretty easily. All right, let's take a look at this middle compartment here next. Let's see what we get in here. So it looks like this is one of the holsters here. This is on Velcro, so you're going to be able to move this anywhere that you want for whatever size pistol and for where you want it to sit in here exactly. There are also 4 kind of like molly spots right through here that's designed for additional magazines. And if you can see here, there's these little straps that have these D-rings. So technically you can leave these out when you zip this up. And then this is going to give you something to quickly grab onto and then be able to just pull this, and this whole front is going to open up, giving you access to your firearm. I will be showing some guns throughout this video. Everyone has been safety checked. There's no ammo in them or anywhere around. So this is basically a holster, and this is adjustable here as well. But what you're going to do is basically put your gun in here and then have it like this here, and then you can place this wherever you want in here. Again, that's a Glock 19, and it will definitely fit something even larger than that in here. And this will easily hold 4 more Glock 19 magazines. So just your standard ones, you could have, what, 75 or 76 rounds on you. There's plenty of room all the way around this, so I don't see it being a problem zipping anything up. But let's just make sure. I'll leave one of those rings out because that's how we're going to grab onto to open everything up. All right, so we're going to have that third compartment back here. Let's check it out. Okay, so we got another holster back here. There's just a storage area here, just like an open storage area. A zippered area here. Again, fairly deep. That goes all the way to the bottom. And that looks like that's it. So this holster is not adjustable, and the opening is definitely on the smaller side. So you're probably going to be putting like subcompacts or micro pistols in this side. So I put my little Ruger LCP down in this holster, and even it is a super tight fit. It's almost like where this stitch right there needs to come over just a little bit further because it's tight. It's tight to put in, it's tight to draw out, but you can see how the other holster that they have in there completely covers your trigger guard area, but still allows you to get a full purchase on the weapon. And then when you put it back in there, it's completely covered. I kind of almost wish they just would have included a second one of those instead of this one. If you didn't want to carry a second firearm, you could use this space for all kinds of stuff. Like that's an iPad mini there, that fits in there easily. Some other things that I carry with me every day is a Leatherman, a flashlight, a knife, and then some OC spray. So I could utilize, these pockets for some of this stuff. If I wanted to drop that down in there, probably do that like that. And then the things with pocket clips, put in here and then have them like that there, and have your knife here. The other option for those 4 things is if you're not carrying spare magazines, is you can put them right there in those molly spots, and still have your gun sitting right here if you want. But the bag gives you a lot of versatility because like this holster was in this front pocket here, but you could easily, if you want, put this back here in this one, and set it up this way. Now, it will remind you, however, that these D-rings are only available on this front pouch. So ideally, you probably are going to want to run your pistol up here so you can get quick access to that. Because back here, you are going to have to unzip both sides, which is going to take a lot longer. For me personally, this is probably the way that I would set it up. I would put my gun over to one side. That way my hand can fit in here easily. I don't have the side of the zipper or bag or anything kind of interfering with anything, so I can grab a hold of this easily. And then I would run just 2 extra magazines, and I would leave those other 2 kind of open there. But this would give me, 46 rounds basically. So I pretty much have everything in this bag that I would carry with me every day. I'm going to check the weight on this now and see where we're at. So we went from 15 ounces to 68 ounces. So we're now at well over 4 pounds. And I will just kind of recap. Again, I put my phone and my wallet up here in the front with the car keys. In that front compartment is where I'm going to keep the firearm and then maybe a spare magazine or 2. And then the back compartment is kind of where I've put most of my other EDC stuff. I threw the Leatherman down in there. I have an ink pen, the OC spray, the flashlight, knife. And then in here, I have some cash and then some Band-Aids, mints, floss picks, stuff like that. Stuff that I carry every single day with me. But I don't need it as often as maybe my phone and stuff that I kept out in the front. So I am going to put this bag on here in a minute, but I want to show you guys the shoulder strap first. It's actually 4 inches wide up here, and then it kind of tapers down a little bit, and it's still 2 inches wide down here. And that's more than a foot long, so it should give really good support. Plus there is like some padding there. Also wanted to show you that the strap itself is adjustable. All right, so this is kind of what the bag is going to look like on. Just for reference, I'm about 6'2" and 220 pounds. Fits me, no problem at all. There's a ton of room still left, so if you are bigger, won't have any trouble. So I will say that, like, I've never used a sling bag for a concealed carry purpose, so it will take some practice to kind of figure out, do I do left hand pull and then right hand draw my weapon? So that's the way I kind of set it up right now, is to put the ring over on this side. So when I'm grabbing here, I'm pulling kind of down and away. But again, it'll kind of be trial and error here at first, but this is what it's kind of going to look like. It's fairly fast. This is something that, you know, for me, it's definitely going to take a lot of practice, because I'm so used to going down to my waist to draw, and here the gun is much, much higher, so my elbow is much, much higher. But like anything else, you just got to keep working at it. But just to show it to you one more time here, you're going to grab, pull fast, get in here, pull it out. Again, it's probably a 2 to 3 second draw or so, but it can definitely be done. So what do you guys think about sling bags? Have you ever used them, or would you ever use one? Let me know down in the comments. You know, I personally like to carry my firearm on me, but I know a lot of people don't, whether it's because of it being uncomfortable or because of their clothing choices or whatever the reason is. And I would rather you have a gun kind of on you in a bag than not on you at all. I can definitely see a lot of scenarios though where having a sling bag could definitely be advantageous for you. Maybe you're hiking and you're having to go over rocks and different things you have to climb up on, and maybe having a gun in the appendix or even like the 3 or 4 o'clock position could be more of a hindrance there. Or maybe you're on a bicycle and you're going, 20, 30 miles a day or whatever, and again, having a gun in your appendix position may be very, very uncomfortable. Something like a kayaking or something, just to give you quick access to something in the front of you like that. But this would be great even for just like travel. Even if you're not going to keep a firearm in it, just having a small little sling bag for like amusement parks or things like that. Now, I obviously just got this bag, so I can't speak to like the durability of it. Everything does seem like it's well made. All of the stitching is done really well on it. And I did check that out, and that is a reflective strip right there. And even though it is a fairly small bag, it's able to hold all the things that I pretty much carry on a daily basis. If I had any complaints at all with the bag, it would be with this second holster here. I just feel like it's almost too small to use the way I would want to use it. And I just kind of wish they just included a second one of those adjustable holsters. But overall, the bag does seem really nice and very practical. So like I said, these bags are available on Amazon. They're coming in at less than $30. I have the black one, and then like I said, they do have a gray one that has just a little bit of black on it, and it's also $30. And I will leave that Amazon link down in the video description in case you guys want to find out more information on the bag, if you want to read some of the other reviews, or if you want to pick one up. But alright guys, if you found the video helpful or informative in any way, please hit that like button. It really helps the channel out. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. And that's going to be it on this one. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it.